Hello. This hat is so dumb. Hello everyone. How's it going? Hope things are going well for you. Welcome to the definitely not 2 months late celebration, yep, of 2 years on YouTube. Which is why I named this stream 2+ years, because my gosh, this was supposed to happen back in January. But yeah, what can you do? We are here now. Yeah, new screen. New screen. The background I did make, and then I just quickly grabbed some PNG party stuff. Yeah, peak truly. Anyway, welcome in. So glad to have you. Today is just me yapping at you a lot. I'll be honest, you know, I wasn't as prepared for this stream as I really should have been, you know, but that's mostly because I spent this whole week working on that video that finally came out, which we will get to. We'll talk about that a lot, but that finally came out, so that's exciting. Very excited about that. So glad that's over, if I'm being honest with you. There was a point, we'll talk more. I gotta stop, otherwise I won't have anything to say later. I gotta just stop talking now. Hello, by the way. Look, I have at least somewhat fixed the emote problem of it showing up on stream, so that's good. I had like 5 extra minutes than I thought I did this morning, and I was like, oh, let me go just look at that, because I don't know what I did wrong. Yeah, hope things have been going well lately. Hopefully your lives are good. Things are good here. Like I said, video's done. We're here celebrating 2 years, and I definitely, well, we'll just pull the trigger on this. Look at my favorite. Look at my little, I made this thing that's definitely good and will hopefully show up correctly. I didn't actually test it that much. There it is. Look at my my absolute slideshow I made, because I couldn't think of anything else to do in the amount of time that I had to solve this, so I just made a PowerPoint. Welcome to my presentation. I crack myself up sometimes. Welcome to my absolutely totally not scuffed presentation of where we've been for the past 2 years. Where we've been 2 years, and where we are, and where we're going. And also I'm going to just spend a lot of today talking about the video, if I'm being honest with you. Absolute slides is correct. Yep, that's 100%. That's 100% what we're doing. We're doing slides. Welcome in. You know, truly peak streaming here. You will never see it done better. I can guarantee that with absolutely nothing. And yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna move on before you can read all that fine print. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. You can go back and read it if you want. Anyway, I don't know how to go next slide, if I'm being honest. Hopefully not that. That wasn't it. Hold on. Do I just click? Oh, I click on it. There we go. Welcome to where we've been, yo. And you know, I did some counting, because I wasn't sure, you know, for 2 years we were there. Like, I feel like I've done a lot of stream. In fact, I make every playthrough a different playlist on my YouTube channel, and at some point along the way I was like, is this gonna end up, am I gonna end up with too many playlists on my channel? And the answer is probably, because we currently, I did count them all, but we have like 30-ish different playthroughs in the past 2 years, which is actually insane. And not all of those are completed, I'll be honest. There's a couple that aren't, and a couple that I'm like pretending like we're real, and then just actually aren't real. Like Ender Lilies, never getting around to that. And also the most recent, I'll talk about it on Monday probably, because it won't be Resident Evil 4 remake randomized. But yeah, also another fun, let me know if the music is fine. To be honest, that's another thing I just kind of slapped together literally last minute and hoped that it was fine, because if it wasn't fine, we were gonna have problems, you know. And then we've done 2 videos which is frankly impressive considering how long one of those videos took. We did the ultra kill video, which really, I think I've talked about it before. That video was just going to be a short. That was supposed to originally be just a short, and then I started editing it or pulling together all the footage and went, this is like frankly way too much footage to condense into 1 minute. Nowadays we have 3-minute long shorts, which I've never done one that long, but no one watches a full minute long short anyway, so I don't know how effective a 3-minute long short would be. At that point you just make it a channel, like an actual video. Right? I don't know. I would love to see some kind of data on if anyone actually watches a 3-minute long short, you know, because I just can't believe anyone does. I just, you know, people that are watching shorts on YouTube are watching shorts on YouTube, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like they're not there for a long time, they're there for a good time. And if I was there for a long and good time, I would just watch an actual video, you know what I mean? I don't know. There is, or at least I've heard it said before, there is like this somewhat you do? Okay, well, there's something, I guess. Depending on the context, yeah. I suppose stuff like a tutorial or something like that might work best in a 3-minute format. I just don't think the normal content you get in 1 minute quite fits a 3-minute long, right? It's not the same audience. Sometimes some pretty good speedruns in Monster Hunter Wilds are shorts. Okay, well that's just insane, because how do you do anything that fast? I don't know. That's wild. I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Wilds, and I think my shortest above 7-star hunt has been like 12 minutes or something, you know, like it's just like not feasible to put that into a short. But yeah, where was I going with all of this? I don't know where I was going with all of this. Point is, made 2 videos. One was going to be a short, then realized it was too long, and then made it a video, and then the next one was always going to be a video, and then it just took 9 months. I don't even know when I finished that challenge run, but from that point on until yesterday, it was the time frame that took. Oh, they post both normal video and the short. The short doesn't show ads. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's the one benefit. I mean, there are ads every 3 shorts or something. It's actually kind of ridiculous, but you can just scroll right past it, so it doesn't lock you. So that is one benefit of shorts versus normal videos for sure. We also, speaking of shorts, we made like 5.5 billion. There was a solid 6 months there where I was uploading a short literally every day. I don't know how I did that, if I'm being honest with you. That was frankly impressive. I am impressed by myself on that one. And that will probably never happen again. At least not daily. Yeah, and there's so many of them as a result of that 6 months time span that I'm not gonna count them all. There's like a few hundred. I'm almost positive at this point. At least over 100, I think. So yeah, we got a lot of shorts out there. And you know, I've thought about this a lot, you know, because a lot of people, a lot of channels will separate the different forms of content into separate channels, you know, like live streams will be one channel and shorts will be another channel and videos will be a third channel. And that probably is good for the algorithm, despite that being really backwards in theory, you know. But I just can't be bothered, you know. There's a lot of things in life that I just cannot be bothered to do, and so everything is going on to this one single channel. And if that ruins my algorithm showing up capabilities, so be it, you know. So be it. That's where we're at. All shorts, live streams, videos, it's all going on one, and I'm not doing anything else, so get rid of that. We've also done 3-ish avatar models, this being the third. I say 3-ish because we do technically have, right, hold on, you can see some background stuff. We have this one that is also here and real, and then I use sometimes when it makes sense to use it. But speaking of, on this point, my only note here is that I made the thumbnail for today's stream, and it wasn't until after I made it that I went, this thumbnail kind of implies that I'm going to be announcing a 4th model, a fourth avatar here. That's not happening today. that's not real. I meant to imply, oh, we're just going to be talking about the future and what's happening, what's coming up. And instead, I might have accidentally implied that we were announcing a 4th avatar here, and that's not true. That's fake news. Don't believe the lies. It's definitely clickbait. Yeah, no, we definitely clickbaited. Cause that's not happening. That's not. I haven't had time to make another one. So here we are. Even though there are things I would like to do, I have an idea of where I'd like to go next. We'll get to this further in our wonderful PowerPoint presentation here. But yeah, no, I just like haven't had time to do anything about it, and I know I'm really disappointed in you, Rotisserie. That's my bad for clickbaiting you like that. That's unfortunate. Clicked on the stream for the reveal of a 4th avatar. You know, I say this is the 3rd, but really the first one was only there for the Resident Evil 7 stream. My first streams ever. There was like, it lasted a total of like 2 weeks before I moved on to moved on to the second avatar, which is, you know what, it has a place in history. It's just not a very big place, quite small. How long? I don't remember how long we've had this one for. Quite a while. It feels like at least a year, but my sense of time and when things have happened is like completely out of whack. Which is funny because my sense of time, of like what time of day it is like on point, constant. Like I am the most on point person I know when it comes to being able to tell you what time of day it is at any given time without looking. Like I can get within 10 minutes pretty reliably, but my sense of like when stuff happened within a larger time frame, nah, absolutely not. I cannot tell you a single thing about any of that. So I don't know. I feel like we've had this one for a year, but that could be a lie. We could be do something else entirely. What else? That's what the presentation's for me. You don't have to ask that. I've really only slightly improved on the audio, video, and capturing and all of this. If this stream doesn't let you know just how much we've improved, it's very little. There's a lot of things that I really need to like actually sit down and decode in how this works, but I just haven't. I've really been operating on kind of a minimalist mindset for a variety of reasons, that a lot of which to do with why it took so long for this video to happen, for yesterday's video to happen. But yeah, we've really been operating on like, well, this works, so like why bother, like why spend the energy to figure it out further? Isn't to say I don't want to do that, but sometimes, you know, that's just how life be going. And then, you know, classic, basically every time I'm like actually into a game, I kind of just forget to look at chat, which is something I feel like I've improved a lot, but also I haven't improved that much, if I'm being honest. Like that's still something that I forget to do on occasion, even though it takes up a good third of my second monitor. I just forget to look over there sometimes when I'm really into a game. So if I'm not responding in chat at any point, it's probably because I'm enjoying the game and not because I hate you. That's probably it. Probably. Let's see. Live video. Okay. This slide is pointless. In fact, it's so pointless that we're gonna be doing this. Wait on it. Let me do some stuff. I typed this in chat knowing it'll never be read. And I take it personally. Why would you type it in chat then? That feels like a bad idea. And something you should not have done to begin with. Okay, hold on. Pop. Look. Behold. It's my video. My video. I just want to talk about it. Let me find a good spot. Where's a good spot? We'll start with my favorite joke in the entire video, which is this joke right here. This is my favorite joke in the entire video. Welcome in. This is my favorite joke in the entire video. You can't hear it right now. There are a couple things to watch out for. First, he loves to yell. And some. I die laughing at that joke in particular every time. I can't. That's my favorite one. I knew I wanted to do that the second I heard it, and I was just like, yep, that's what we're doing. Anyway. It's so dumb. It's based off of, if you've never seen it, it's based off of a cyberpunk meme edit, where it just like takes clips of Johnny Silverhand saying stuff and then just like cuts it off at points where it really shouldn't be cut off. Right, like for instance, there's one part where he's like, if I need your body, I'll take it, but then I forget exactly how he says it, but anyway, it just like cuts off and plays that music, and it's so funny. And I don't know, I get that type of humor is not for everyone, but it's really funny for me. I really enjoy that joke. Anyway, that's not relevant to the rest of everything else I wanted to say about this, but I just needed everyone to know that was my favorite joke, and I've found it really funny. And that really, you know, you should just do stuff because you find it funny and not because you think everyone else will. Yeah, so video, why did it take 9 months? Let's just get the elephant out of the way, out of the room. Why did it take 9 months for this video? I don't actually know. Has it been 9 months? When did I stop streaming this? When did we finish this challenge run? Like a century ago? I don't know. I'm looking it up right now as we speak. Yep. Gotta do some quick Googling on my own channel. Very interesting. What is today? Today's March. And $11 months. Never mind. It was 11 months ago. Yeah, so it turns out the finale was literally a year ago tomorrow. This video took a year to come out, guys. A whole year. Damn. Okay, I was like, I've been saying 9 months, and apparently not to make myself feel bad. You know, okay. And so it may have taken a whole year for this video to come out. There's a few reasons for that. One, just been worth the wait. I hope so. It better have been. One, truly and really, I've just been like extraordinarily burnt out from my real life job and all these other things. So like my desire to actually work on this video a lot of the time was there, but my actual ability to do so energy wise was not there. And so that was a problem, right? At some point it got better when I kind of adopted a mindset of not stopping myself when I felt like doing something, right? There was a lot of times where like I would feel like, oh, maybe I should work on that video, right? Like, but not in like a wow, guilt trip kind of way, but in like an actual good way, you know. Where I was like, oh, maybe I should work on the video, and then I just wouldn't, because I was, I don't know, playing a game or doom scrolling, or this is a good one too, I like that one, something along those lines, right? And so then I wouldn't work on it, and then by the time I finished whatever I was doing, I no longer felt like working on the video. And at some point I had to confront that and just kind of like deal with that, you know. And so I kind of adopted the mindset of, if I feel like working on the video or anything else of that kind of nature, right, it's not like crucial, but like something I do actually want to get done, that I wouldn't stop myself from doing it, right? I would just put down whatever I'm doing and go do it, even if it was only for like 5 minutes, right? And then on the flip side, I would also not beat myself up if I didn't feel like doing it, right? So like I stopped beating myself up for not working on the video whenever I wasn't feeling like working on the video. But in exchange, anytime I felt like working on the video, I would drop whatever I was doing, as long as it wasn't, you know, important at the time, and then go work on it. And that honestly ended up working out pretty well. It wasn't perfect, and I still got a lot to do, but that ended up helping a lot in terms of actually getting this video out. Another part was at some point don't get me wrong, I like the video, I'm proud of the video, I am putting a lot of work into this video. But if I were to go back to a year ago, I would not do the video like this. There'd be a lot of things that I would change. For one, it would be like at least 20 minutes shorter, if not 30 minutes shorter than what it currently is. I definitely know what I was, the way you phrase it in a lot of art or writing or video editing spheres is you kill your babies. There was a lot of babies I should have killed with this video. Don't clip that, that's really out of context if you clip that way. Anyway, for this video, there's a lot of things that I would cut or make shorter or skip or skim that I don't, right? This video, the kind of the direction that we went with it is very much a how to, almost step-by-step process guide of, if you wanted to do this challenge run yourself, this is how you do it. And I'm just not, I decided somewhere along the way that wasn't the vibe I wanted, but unfortunately by that point it was way too late, and it would have taken another year for this video to come out if I had done anything about that. So we were just going to continue on. So I, you know, like I said, proud of the video, but also if and when I do future challenge run videos, I expect them to be quite a bit different in terms of structure and how they're laid out. You know, because I was thinking about it, right? There are points in this video that I would have liked to do a little more editing for, but I just didn't, because didn't have the energy or time to do so, or desire to do so, you know, right? The video is 57 minutes long, and if it was half as long as it is, I could have, theoretically speaking, of course, I could have spent double the amount of time editing the 30 minutes instead of the 60 minutes, you know. One instance of this, for instance, is near this point of the video, I talk about like how there's strategies online, and people on online forums ask about this gauntlet, which sucks, by the way. This gauntlet sucks so bad. I don't understand who decided this was a good idea. Anyway, I mentioned that right in the script, and I talk about it in the video, but I don't actually show it, so you just have to like take my word for it. That's something I could have added to the screen and like put in if I had more energy to do that, and it's something I could have added if the video was shorter. That's really another major reason, is just like I've never worked on a video this long, like not even close, actually. Like I've never even done anything close to this long before. Honestly, but ironically, I think the longest video prior to this video that I made was the last video on this channel, which is about 10 minutes long. I think 10 minutes is about the longest I've ever done, and before that it was probably like 5. So going from a 10-minute video to a nearly hour-long video is quite a jump, and just how much editing that takes. And I really underestimated it, I gotta be honest with you. I was telling, who was I telling? Rentals, maybe? I think I was telling Rentals over there. Like the amount of basically with everything in this video, I would go in my head before I worked on it. I would go, okay, I've got to do this. This shouldn't take that long. I've only got to do these couple things and then we'll get it done. And then I would go to work on it and realize that no, in fact, we were about to spend so much longer, and it was going to take like three times as many steps to get this thing done as I thought it was going to take. For instance, the music, the background music, I was just like, oh, background music, that's easy. We just grab the background music, slap it in there, and adjust the volume and call it a day. I didn't really like consider the fact that I would need to and want to add all of these little transitions that let you know what the song that's playing is, that I would need to capture all of the soundtrack and then edit all of the tracks down into a loop that I could put back to back, because not all of them are perfect loops. In fact, almost none of them were. And I'd do that 25 times because I used 25 different tracks, which is an absurd amount of music. I don't know why I did it that much. There's the joke again. I don't know why I put that many tracks in this song, but anyway, that spent like a whole day. That took like 4+ hours to just do that, when I was like under the impression it was going to take like an hour or less to do the music in its entirety. I don't know what I was on, but that's just like how it is, you know. Yeah, also, yeah, in this style, I've never done a video like this before. It's definitely a learning process. There is still, right, like the whole time, and even now I look back on it, there's so many things that I'm just like, man, I wish I could do all of these steps at the same time, right? There were so many things that I'm just like, this is so awkward to try to do this piecemeal. But like, you have to do it piecemeal. There's no other way to do it, because you're only one person and you can't time travel. Unfortunately, if you could, that would be something else, right? Because the way I did it is I wrote the entire script, which that took like 6 months of the year, by the way. That yo, welcome in, Jacob. Just watched it. Oh well, that we're talking about it. That's all we're talking about right now. So thanks for watching that. Appreciate it. Yeah, and thanks for watching the Dishonored streams. Yeah, so I wrote the script for this, which took way too long, by the way, and it's way too big. Like I mentioned, this would be a much shorter video. This would have been a much shorter video if I did this again. That script is way too long. Anyway, made the script, right, and then I recorded it, recorded me saying the script, and then had to edit all of that down into like a workable, so there weren't a bunch of random pauses and extra segments. That took forever. And then you have to go, and then I went and got the footage, right? And the amount of times that I would go, man, if I had known I would need this footage, or man, I wish I had more time if I had spent more time pausing here so the footage would last a little longer, right? So I could hold this shot longer or something, right? Like like there are all these moments that if I could just do it at the same time, we wouldn't have this problem. But because I have to do it one step at a time, you just end up making compromises the whole way. Which, you know, I don't think there's another way to do it. If there is, if somebody knows how to time travel so you can work on stuff at the same time, let me know, fill me in. That'd be great. I'd love that. So yeah, anyway, there's this happened this happened the whole way. Every step of the process I was like, man, if only I had done this 2 steps ago, it would make my life so much easier right now. And another fun fact, and I've known this since I started learning how to video edit way back in college, where I really started learning how to video edit. But I still to this day am learning this because I forget, I underestimate just how much footage you need for a video every time, right? You would think, oh, just my streams would be fine for this video, but no, there's so many times I was like, man, I didn't capture this, or I just blew past this in my stream, and I needed to like actually like take way more time on this than I did. You can never, I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible when you're making a video like this, or any video, to have too much footage. At no point in any video I've ever made over the course of my life have I been like, man, I just have too much footage. I don't know what to do with all this footage. Like, no. You can never have too much. You always need more. You literally always need more. Always. Actually insane. Yeah. I think the pacing, this is just tangential, but as I'm watching this video, I think the pacing of this world in particular, Wonderland, is the pacing I wish I had kept through the entire video. Right, it's pretty short. I think this whole segment takes like 3 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. That's including this clip we're watching that's inserted in the middle. But like, I spend longer on single boss fights than I do on this entire world. Later in the video, right? Like, I spend more time on Ursula, which in one sense Ursula's a bitch and needed that much, but yeah, I spend more time on Ursula than I do on this entire world, by like double. Also, yeah, this is Hollow Knight OST. The video I'm getting it from is in the description if you want to go check it out. It's just the soundtrack. Somebody compiled the soundtrack, and that's what we're listening to. Because Hollow Knight is good, and you should play it. Assuming you like exploration and Metroidvanias and stuff like that. But yeah, quite good. So yeah, that took forever. Another thing, I didn't know at the time of streaming this challenge run how to separate my avatar from the gameplay. And so thus you have my avatar in this little corner here the entire challenge run video, and I dislike it so much. I now know how to do that, but yeah, I usually throw this on during work time for students when I'm at work. Yeah, it's really good, honestly. It's both peaceful and energetic all at the same time. it makes for good ambient music, honestly. What was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, Avatar. I wish I was gone for a lot of it, right? Because it makes it feel like that Avatar is the one speaking the voiceover, but it's not most of the time. I tried to make it as clear as possible with me popping in occasionally, but you live and you learn. I know now how to do it. The problem is that it takes way more resources. It takes way more CPU and GPU and all that to separate the recording, because then you're basically recording it twice, right? You're recording your avatar speaking as a separate file from the gameplay recording, all while you're live streaming and playing a game. So it just like actively eats up every piece of memory that my computer has. This is another moment that I didn't have footage for. This is just coming back way in like a different save file for that one. So yeah. On the script being so long, I feel like that's what makes the video so thoroughly well produced. It's also hard because I imagine you're writing the script based on the things that happened. Yeah. It's like if Ursula didn't select the script for a section, would it be as long? So true. If Ursula wasn't such a terrible boss fight, it wouldn't take so long. No, accurate. It's true. Like I was saying, it's very much a step-by-step how this is how you go through the game doing this challenge run kind of vibe. But I would probably do it a little differently, right? I've seen challenge runs that are more like just a story that they're telling while they're doing the challenge run, as opposed to like a step-by-step, this is what I did every step of the way kind of vibe. And I think I don't know that I would ultimately like that better, but I would like to try that as opposed to this, because those tend to be shorter. And really at this point, I would like to try a shorter one, because like I said, I could get so much more editing in per minute if it wasn't twice as long as it currently is. So still, I am proud of it. I'm glad it's done. I didn't realize it took a whole year, but you know what? Maybe the next one will not take so long. Maybe the next one will not take so long. It might. You never know. On that note, anyone interested in a Kingdom Hearts 2 challenge run in the same vein? You know, I was thinking about it, actually. Yeah, there's like a few games I would like to do a challenge run in. Kingdom Hearts 2, I feel like might be actively impossible. Because I've thought about it, you know, I've been thinking about it since while making this video and while having done this challenge run, and there's a much heavier emphasis, right? Because the combat system kind of goes through an overhaul in between 1 and 2. There's a much heavier emphasis on blocking and positioning in Kingdom Hearts 2 that Kingdom Hearts 1 you just don't deal with, right? I don't think we're starting the next Kingdom Hearts challenge run Monday, and that's mainly because I don't have the space on my computer for it for the game at the moment. But I think of certain boss fights in Kingdom Hearts 2. One in particular, there's one boss fight in particular that I know for a fact would be hell on earth trying to beat it without blocking. or dodge rolling or any defensive anything. And that's Zigbar. Zigbar in the very near the end of the game, I'm not actively sure how you would beat Zigbar without blocking, or without dodge rolling, because my guy's entire mechanic revolves around that, right? Like that's how you beat him. And I just don't, there's a couple bosses in that game that I'm just like, I don't know if this would be possible. You could do like a level 1 kingdom key only, no items. Yeah, that might be interesting. Yeah, because that's another aspect, right, of these kind of challenge runs. A lot of challenge runs, most challenge runs, that I can think of don't happen in games where you can just level up, right? And that was one thing I was very cognizant of when streaming this challenge run, was trying not to be over leveled, because I could have just cheesed the entire challenge run by just like over leveling, you know. And there are a couple points where I had to level up because there was just no way. I've tried so many times to do it without. But like at the end of the day, it's an RPG, so you could just like walk in and just over level up to 99, and then nothing can stand in your way no matter what. Oh, randomizer of Kingdom Hearts 1, no defenses. No, that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to think, because there's how would that even work? I don't know how that would work. How would like Atlantica enemies show up anywhere else? You know what I mean? I don't know. I've never seen somebody randomize Kingdom Hearts. I guarantee it's probably out there. It's probably possible. Just never seen it. I don't know. I'll think about it. If I feel, I'll have to do more research. Also, Kingdom Hearts 2 just has more mechanics, so I'm not entirely sure what I would ban. Right? This one was pretty straightforward. There wasn't that much to ban. But Kingdom Hearts 2, you get like aerial recovery. You get reversals in like the entirety of the triangle button. I don't know what I would do with that. It's just like Kingdom Hearts 2. But every boss is lingering will Ursula, but in Wonderland. Stop, guys. You're just like you're actually making me crash out. I'm gonna yeah, I can't think about that and remain calm. I do know Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer does exist. Yeah. I don't know if Kingdom Hearts 1 does though. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. I do want to do another Kingdom Hearts challenge run. I just don't know that it would be exactly this, but for Kingdom Hearts 2. And then, you know, I've thought about other ones. The problem is, right, it's finding a challenge. Walk up to Riku and the end of the world boss appears. Yeah, no, that would be a problem actually. Ansem just actually shows up. The problem is finding a game that not only do I want to challenge run, but I can challenge run in a way that hasn't been done before, or at least I can think of a way to do a challenge run that has been done before, but do it in an interesting way. You know, because like something like Resident Evil, I love Resident Evil. I would love to do a challenge run in Resident Evil. Every challenge run I can possibly think of has been done before in Resident Evil. In any of the games. like I couldn't tell you what I could possibly do in those games that hasn't already been done. So yeah, no, that's definitely on the bucket list of stuff that will be coming down the line in the next year, before the next one of these streams. But I just don't know exactly what that's gonna look like at the moment. If I can think of a good way to do it in Kingdom Hearts 2, and I feel confident that it's probably possible, if at least somewhat possible, in Kingdom Hearts 2, we might just do it. But there's just a few points in Kingdom Hearts 2 that I think about and I go, I don't know that you can beat that in any way, in any meaningful way, without just over leveling in order to pass it. And it pretty much comes down to every single Organization 13 boss. Resident Evil 4, but Leon has his shirt off with a tramp stamp. Yeah, maybe not. Resident Evil, but Ursula appears randomly as an enemy. No, that's a good one. Yep, that's a good one right there. We'll just I'll pay somebody to mod Ursula from Kingdom Hearts 1 into Resident Evil, and then you can fight. Good call. Dark Souls no rolls. Yeah, that's interesting. See, but Dark Souls is another one, right? I love Dark Souls and all Soulsborne games. I can't possibly think of a challenge run that has not already been done for Dark Souls, because you're like, oh, Dark Souls no rolling. People have done Dark Souls no stamina usage, right? Like, they don't use the stamina bar, which is so much more involved than no rolls that I'm like, is it even worth doing a no roll run? Because somebody's already way eclipsed that. I don't know. There's a lot of things we'll think about. But keep the ideas coming. Except for the Ursula ones. You could probably stop with the Ursula. I will never fight Ursula again in my life, I don't think. I probably will, but not for a long time. Yeah. Dark Souls, but you played on a potato with a Wii remote for your controls. I don't know about the playing it on a potato, but the Wii remote for Dark Souls has been done. That has been done. Yeah. I don't know. This is what I'm talking about. Like, all of these challenge runs have been done. One of the more interesting challenge runs I've seen lately is Stardew Valley Tile Locked, where you buy each tile to move around. That's crazy. I've never played Stardew Valley, but that sounds insane. How do you even get enough money to begin with to move? Don't you have to sell? Can you just sell from whatever tile you're on? I assume there was like a shop you had to go to sell. I don't know. I have seen like Roller Coaster Tycoon start with no money or start with only one tile challenge runs before. Those are interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think what will probably happen is I'll just like finally think of a game that I would like, oh, we're on a challenge run, and then I'll look up all of the challenge runs for it and see if I can think of one that's interesting that isn't done before. Or at least, like I said, sometimes you can repeat challenge runs. That's fine, as long as you have a good idea for the video that you would make afterward. Right, if you can do the video in a unique way that's interesting, then it's fine. You're not really repeating it. In the mod he made, you get so many free tiles. You also get free tiles when you complete community center bundles. Got it. Trying to beat Kingdom Hearts 2, but you can't because you're actually just playing Pokemon Pokopia. What? What does that even mean? I don't know. If I had $70, I definitely have been looking at Pokopia and being like, man, kind of wanted that. So instead I just restarted Animal Crossing to kind of hopefully fill that same niche. But yeah, no, Pokopia looks good. League of Legends, but I'm happy with my life. Yeah, so I'm asking for challenge runs that are completable, and that one just ain't it, you know. That one, I think that might be the most incompletable challenge run we've said so far. Yeah, Pokemon YouTubers be doing it constantly. So true. But that's what I'm saying. Like they bring something interesting at least. But yeah, Pokemon also interesting. We've done a Nuzlocke. We didn't win that Nuzlocke, but we've done a Nuzlocke. So that's also on my list of things that I think about looking at. I also want to be doing should we go back to our fun fact slideshow? Maybe we should, because I have all of this listed on my fun fact slideshow. That's really good and definitely worthwhile. Okay. I also, there's a cage Nuzlocke where you use only the latest spell you've received or something. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Like a mana, like a magic only Kingdom Hearts kind of run though. Yeah. Again, Kingdom Hearts 2, I think of the Dance Water Dance guy that I forget the name of, and cry a bit, but other than that, yeah, that's definitely interesting for sure. This is the wrong slide for what we're talking about, I think. Whatever. I think also, right, I made a challenge run video this time. I also want to make other videos. I don't know exactly what fully at the moment, but like, I don't know, video essays, just interesting videos in general. Demix, that's right, that's his name. Yeah, I just like want to make other videos as well. I understand from an algorithm standpoint that it's way better to just stick to one thing and do that. That's, I have, my ambitions always outpace my ability to do them, but I have very little desire to just stick to one thing forever. And I'd rather just like continually make stuff, whatever I'm feeling at the time. So challenge runs certainly are on the table always, but I also want to make like video essays, and I want to make just like interesting story telling videos, and I don't know, anything else I can think of that I want to do, I want to do it, you know? So yeah, that's all on my list here. You could play a game but set it up so that chat could influence the game. You spawn more enemies so we can just make it infinitely harder for you. That would be interesting. Yeah, that would also be hell on earth, I think, but also interesting for sure. Also, I've seen it done before. I just don't know how I don't know how to set that up. I have no coding skills at all, so if that doesn't already exist, I would have to learn how to code, and that's would exponentially take the amount of time that it would take for me to do that idea, and just increase it a lot. I'm not sure what I just said made any sense actually, grammatically speaking, but that's okay. We accept that anyway. I also want to do, and this would be an interesting, potentially, these are all potentially interesting idea. I really liked going through this past year when we went through Devil May Cry, like the entire franchise, start to finish, and I would like to do that again this upcoming year. I just haven't fully decided on which franchise to do that in. I have a couple ideas. Honestly, I might put it to a poll and let all of you decide. But we shall find out in the long and short of it all. There's a couple franchises that I'm thinking of that might be interesting to do that, and then I could make an interesting video of a guy that discovers this franchise and stuff I like and stuff I dislike and how things improve, and kind of video, you know, more of a video essay than a challenge run video, obviously, but yeah. I already talked about Kingdom Hearts 2 challenge run. Yeah, more horror. Lego Batman franchise. See, but the problem with Lego games are that they're the exact same thing on repeat, and I like Lego games, but I'm not sure anyone wants to watch me play through Batman 1 through 3 doing the exact same thing over and over, and then play the new Batman one when it comes out. But yeah, there's a few games that I have that I want to do. No, I don't. At this point, if it isn't clear, the algorithm can tell me whatever it wants to tell me, and I'm just gonna ignore it for the most part. I'm just kind of doing what I want to do, and that's what we're here for. So screw you, algorithm, or whatever. Yeah, there are a few games as listed that I 100% plan on playing. Sorrows, when that comes out next month, I think. Crazy, actually, thinking about it. It comes out at the end of next month. We played Returnal on the channel, and I definitely plan on playing Sorrows when it comes out. Silent Hill, well, there's not a release date for Silent Hill Townfall, but I plan on playing that when it comes out soon. And then Marvel Tokon, yeah, we're going back to we're gonna reboot our fighting game phase because Guilty Gear is also getting a major update sometime this year, again unannounced. But when that gets a major update, we'll probably re-enter Guilty Gear again. And then Marvel Tokon, obviously I want to play that some more. And then also I've been really craving some PS1 and PS2 games, and I just haven't gone around to setting that up. But there's some that I want to play, and I want to play them on stream. And so you can look forward to that also as it's something that I plan on. And then as we've done a couple times, just whatever random ass indie games we find that I think look interesting, that's also what we're gonna be playing. So most recommendations about the algorithm really only matter once you card out a solid chunk of consistent viewership. Yeah, no, that's probably true, actually. Ape Escape for sure. No, that's definitely on the list. Yeah, Ape Escape is peak. I've never played Sly Cooper, so that's also you could throw that one on the list. Yeah, that would work both as a PS1 PS2 game and a franchise Discover series, that one. But yeah, Ape Escape, loved the first one. I never actually finished the first one, so that might be interesting to play on stream. Sly Cooper, that's a good one. I want to replay the original Spider-Man games, not the movie tie-in Spider-Man games, the like original Neversoft Insomniac, not Insomniac, Neversoft Spider-Man games, for the PS1, with perhaps the scariest enemy boss in all of gaming, honestly, that first Spider-Man game. If you know, you know, but perhaps the scariest one of all time. I don't think I've ever found. Tony Hawk, that's another one. I've never played Tony Hawk. We could do that. There's a lot of things. The ones with all the memes of Venom, exactly. Yes, the Venom meme one, that one. That's the Spider-Man game we're talking about, exactly. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, yeah. Yeah, I've never played Tony Hawk games before. I played them like once or twice, but like I've never owned a Tony Hawk game. It's just like at a friend's house I would go and play, and he had Tony Hawk and we'd play Tony Hawk. Thug and Thug 2. Dang, we're gonna have to start writing all these down. You're naming all these games I don't know about. Well, I mean, I know about, but I don't know. I actually don't know what Thug and Thug 2 are about. That's brand new to me. Never heard of that before in my life. Put that down on a list. Gears of War. Never played Gears of War. There's a lot of things you guys are listening right now. Like, if I'm being honest, I grew up on like pretty family friendly PS1 and 2 games, and then like Nintendo. That's where I'm coming from from a childhood standpoint. So, oh, Thug is Tony Hawk Underground. Got it. That makes sense. That checks out. Okay, never mind. I have heard about those. I've just never heard them referred to as Thug. Yeah, I'll write all these down, but no promises we're getting to all of them. I don't know what cell damage is. Never even heard of that one. Tony Hawk, Osgood. Ape Escape is always good. Spider-Man, that's a good one. Yeah, there's a lot. One of the franchises I've thought about going through, I played a decent chunk of the games, but I've not played all of them, is Ace Combat. Especially with Ace Combat 8 coming out this year. Custom Robo. That's not Chibi Robo. That's a different GameCube game. Custom Robo. Okay, we'll put that on the list. But yeah, Ace Combat, all those games also on the list. There's a lot of stuff. I'm definitely for sure gonna be playing all of them for sure. Yeah, no promises on any of those, but they're on a list now. Yeah, like I said, I kind of want to get back into playing some of those older ones in addition to just what we've been doing. So yeah, those are all on the list now. Also, perhaps one of the biggest things with 1 hour videos for all of them this year. Yeah, so here's the thing. I don't make any money from this at the moment, right? Like I don't make money from this, so I can't possibly be doing that. Because I have to have a job, you know. So that just actively cannot happen. I'm sorry to break it to you. My bad. No, biggest perhaps biggest things I would like to do in this upcoming year. I want to do my description on my channel, right? The little first thing you see on a channel page description has said that I learn how to make games and do art sometimes for like the whole time, and I have not done any of that for years. So I would like to do more of those kind of streams. Gaming streams will still be the #1 thing that we do here, if I'm being honest, but I'd also just like to branch out a bit. Right, I want to do just like art streams, learning how to make games / code streams, and then I've seen this done before and I like the idea of it. But like streamers will just like work on whatever they're working on and just like occasionally yap, and then it kind of gives you as the viewer a time to just like, you know, you just like when you get together with friends in college or high school or whatever, and then just like study together, kind of that vibe, but like streaming. I don't know entirely how I'd make that work, but that's the idea, and I like the idea of it, even though I have no concrete plans on how to make that actually happen. But on the art front, I finally got a new art tablet, and so now I can use that, and I would like to use that for art streams because I want to be better at art, both drawing and 3D modeling. That's what I would like to do. So be prepared for those. On that kind of note, I am also like, I think my music's about to end and I need to restart this before it just jumps to somewhere else. Yep. Okay. On that note, I would also like to, what was I gonna say? I don't remember what I was gonna say. The music really threw me off. What was I saying, guys? I don't remember. I was saying something though. Oh, I've been really bad at it, honestly, but I am actively trying to improve my consistency on streaming. I would like to reach a consistent 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, as we've been doing, but like actually consistently. And then assuming we achieve that goal, I would also probably, whenever I feel like it and have time for it, just do kind of guerrilla whenever I feel like it and have time for it, streaming, you know, on top of those 3 times, with those 3 times being like consistent guarantees, you know. And that's probably where a lot of this art game making streams would come from, would just be those kind of guerrilla times. So yeah. On that note of art and modeling and stuff, I do want to finally spend some effort upgrading my PNG avatar to an actual movable model. What that looks like at the moment, not entirely sure. I have ideas, but as with everything, ideas are not an actual thing. They just exist in your brain. So that's something you can look forward to, despite what the thumbnail would have you believe, that I'm announcing that right now, a 4th model. That's not true. But I do have plans to do that eventually. just not today. Okay, not today. That's not happening today. I've been asked this multiple times on streams before, but social channels. I do want to start an actual like Discord server. I just been putting that one off mostly. That would be cool. I'd like to do that. I have no idea how I'd go about doing that, so that's a learning process, but that's on the list. As for other social, I understand. Again, this is another algorithm kind of thing. I understand that it's nice to be able to interact with / see other content creators and streamers and whatever on other social media platforms. I don't have social media on basically anywhere else. Like I don't use Instagram, don't use Twitter, don't use Blue Sky, don't use Snapchat, don't use, I used to use Reddit. I don't use Reddit anymore. I don't use anything at the moment. So one thing I will say, I'm definitely, I should have put this on my fun little PowerPoint here. You will never see me on Twitter. It was just not gonna happen. I refuse to do anything with that cesspool. Thank you. But whether or not you see me on other places, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. That's I need to like come to like a decision on that front. I just don't know what it is. I know a lot of my subscribers, all 80 plus of you, 84 of you I think there are now, a lot of them came from shorts, and so I would like to do more shorts. I've been kind of slacking on that front because of the video. If I'm being honest, I just like went all in on the video the past couple of weeks and just definitely forgot about shorts. In fact, I think the last time I did shorts was back in Tormented Souls 1, which was a while back. So yeah, we've got like a whole backlog of streams I can make shorts from, so expect more shorts. I would like, if I had to put a number, I'd say like 2 a week, but I'd like to not promise anything, but more consistent is a promise I can make, I feel. Yeah, and then like I said, I would like to make at least a couple videos, like actual videos this year. Maybe a challenge run video if we get around to a challenge run, or other stuff. And then I'm thinking of, honestly, I've been putting it off. Another thing I put off, I have a Twitch page, I have a Twitch channel. I just haven't ever dual streamed. I'm thinking of setting that up again, for real this time, so that might be happening. The reason I just haven't done it is I don't really watch Twitch. I just don't. Everything I do is on YouTube, so it just never really made much of a difference to me. But you know, more people will view if you're on more than one platform, so that's how it is. So anyway, that's what's happening in the future. Anything else? I don't know. Maybe, perhaps other stuff will happen. That's really what we're looking at. You know, I'd like to basically, if you want the long and short of it, we finally put out a video. I've been running this channel on bare minimum effort for the past 2 years. Basically just like, well, this works, so I'm not gonna be, is this the TikTok stream reveal? You know, that's a funny one. Okay, so I used to have TikTok. I did have TikTok, and in fact I just posted a bunch of my shorts onto TikTok, and that was basically my TikTok page. I deleted TikTok, and I don't know that I will be re-downloading it. Mainly, the main reason was I was just, like I said, I just posted all these shorts to TikTok, and like, yeah, people would like them and view them, but I'm not sure that I don't think it made any difference in terms of my people showing up on streams or subscribing on YouTube, right? like I was just like there as like a separate entity, which is where I'm at kind of with social media in general for this channel. I'm just like, I don't know how that actually translates, because I don't, right? When I think of my own habits, and I know that people, not everyone's the same and not everyone's like me, but when I think of my own habits, I'm like, I don't switch platforms. That's why I don't watch anyone on Twitch. I just stay on YouTube the whole time. So like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've TikTok streaming. Let's go. That's what's happening for sure. Yep. Yeah, anyway, the past 2 years, long story short, we've been running on minimum. Whatever has worked, I've just accepted and not really thought about much more. I would like to move a little more effort than bare minimum moving forward. You know what I mean? Like, actually, like 1 or 2 steps more effort. So, to be honest, for me, I like a lot of videos like the one you just made, and I really enjoy a lot of games, so YouTube literally recommended you to me because I was watching a lot of Dishonored. Fair. No, that's valid. Yeah, I mean, I that's just kind of the viewers and community I'm trying to cultivate. It's just like people that like the same things I do. Basically, because I'm the exact same boat. I watch a lot of challenge run videos and a lot of video essays, and I enjoy a whole lot of games, and so I just play as many different types of games. Obviously horror is like my main go-to. I've probably played more horror games than any other type of games, but I'm down for anything, honestly. So yeah, that's kind of the people I'm hoping YouTube will recommend to my channel ultimately, but we'll see. Anyway, that's that. I don't have that much more to say. I just wanted to talk about the video and where we've been and where we're going, because I haven't done one of these. I realized a month or two ago that I hadn't ever done one of these things. I've just like I've said, I've been going on minimum. This works, so I'm done. And anyway, I'd like to move more purposefully, I suppose, toward the future. Anyway, anything else? I don't know. Yeah, look forward to more videos, potentially challenge run or two, some franchise discovery, some older games, new games, indie games, horror games, all types of games. Hopefully more consistent streaming. We shall see on that front. And some art streams and other things. That's the goal. Yeah. Anyway, go listen to the Hollow Knight soundtrack. It's quite good if you haven't gotten sick of it by now. Or the Silk Song soundtrack. I could have done Silk Song. That was a good game, and the music is also really good in Silk Song. Yeah, I didn't play Silk Song on the channel, did I? No, that was a me thing only. Okay. Yeah, we'll be back Monday. Like I said, we will not be continuing the RE randomizer. I thought about it, and I learned a lot about myself playing that, and mostly in terms of how I view randomizers. I love randomizers, don't get me wrong, but I think I prefer I think my biggest issue with the RE4 randomizer, the way we had it set up, was just the extra enemies and having bosses as normal enemies. I think if I just removed those two settings, so it was just the normal amount of enemies and bosses couldn't show up as normal enemies, I think we would have been totally chill, and it would have been much a better experience for me. Not that I didn't have fun, I just have no desire to continue it. So we'll be back Monday with whatever I've decided that we're going to be playing next, and I really appreciate you coming in and listening to me yap for an hour and a half, and paying attention to my really scuffed ass my really scuffed ass, I mean totally not scuffed presentation. I'm so glad you all have decided to come in and listen to me, and hopefully you'll stick around for all the future things that we are doing. Thanks a lot. Take care of yourself. Drink lots of water. If you haven't drink, you need to drink water, and you haven't done it yet, do better. Go drink water. It's good for you. Or anything with water you should probably drink, as long as it's healthy for you. What am I saying? I don't know. I've been yapping too long. Get some sunlight, and also get some good sleep whenever it's nighttime for you, okay? Or take a nap. Who am I to judge? Really, I take naps all the time. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. We're gonna catch you on Monday. Thanks for stopping by. Goodbye.